Hello everyone, welcome to Sonic Tonic. My name is Darren Kramer. I'll be with you for the next 30 minutes to show you how to listen like a musician. So go grab a beverage and enjoy the next 4 minutes.
Do you know that there's a place for us, and it's not too far from here? In the joy and laughter, that's what we're really after. So why not love forever? Is that too long to be here together? No, there's nothing better. I wanna be with you. That's all I want. There's a place that we can get together for a long, long time, and it's not far from here. Told you when I met you, I would never let you break my heart, and you into my I want you to linger around. I need no one else tonight. I will never harm you. I'm only gonna charm you every day that I'm with you. You know it's true, and you won't regret it. I've always said it. I wanna be with you. That's all I need. There's a place that we can get together for a long, long time, and it's not far from here. Told you when I met you, I would never let you break my heart, and you into There's a place that we can get together for a long, long time, and it's not far from here. There's a place get together, long, long time, it's not far from here. There's a place long, long
Fun tune. It's called Not Far From Here. I wrote it about 15 years ago. Actually longer than that. I finally recorded it 15 years ago. And features the great Darrell Holden on vocals. We were on tour together with Tom Jones. You know, the crooner from Wales. And he had these great background singers. I see that Sharon is listening. Thanks for coming, Sharon. Sharon sings on Intangible Attraction, which is a song I just released earlier this year too, a remix. I'm doing some fun remixes of songs I recorded a while back, and then giving them a new twist with my new group, DKO Electro Horns. So it's a 4-piece horn section playing over my original tracks, and so it's a whole lot of fun. Thanks for being here. Sonic Tonic is all about how to listen like a musician, being present and focusing on certain elements of the music and not thinking about what you were supposed to do earlier today, what you're going to do on Monday. Just be here now, and I'm going to try to highlight some elements, the individual ingredients of what make up the recipe of a recorded song. So hopefully you went and got your beverage. I was really serious about that. This is a neat concept, I think, where you can make comparisons between food and drink and music, like the elements that make up the greater whole. So I just grabbed an IPA today, Deschutes IPA. It's this one called Fresh Haze. I'd never had it before, so I thought it would be fun to try it. As you can see, I already had a couple swallows. So hopefully you have a tasty beverage. It could be anything. It doesn't have to be alcoholic. In fact, tonic a lot of times is just intended to be a medicinal or an herbal health drink. So your choice, and here's to you. Thanks for being here. We're going to be here till 5:30. Now see just right what happened. Did you actually taste what you have in your hand with your drink, or did you kind of think, oh yeah, well now let's get to the music? There's something really powerful I'm trying to be more aware of being present and going, what does this really taste like? And go, that's got some serious hops in it, right? IPAs. So it's got a bitter taste to it, but it also has this nice, fresh kind of citrusy thing. And I just encourage you to try to do this during your day randomly, this coming week. And maybe some of these musical tips can help you do that. So as you saw, my Ableton's kind of glitchy. Does that look that way to you guys? But you can see that there was the song, Not Far From Here. And this is the remix I did. And here's the beginning of the song, here's the end of the song. But it's kind of more fun to look at it in Ableton Live in session view. And so you notice here's the vocals on the left, then synths, horns, bass, drums, percussion. So maybe you don't even think about those things as being separate items. As a musician, we really think about it. I'm a trombone player, so I'm always aware of when there's horns in a song. So I'm really big on Earth, Wind & Fire, Tower of Power, Chicago, all kinds of groups that have horns. I'm not only that because I'm a composer, I'm a producer. I love writing music of all styles. And this one was an R&B classic kind of ballad vibe when I first wrote it, and it sounds like this.
There's a place that we can get together for a long, long time, and it's not far from here. Told you when I met you, I would never let you break my heart, and you've eclipsed my fear.
And maybe when you're listening to music, you don't even notice those horns. Halfway through the chorus, the horns came in. Why? Because that's how I heard it. And you can do whatever you want when you're a composer. It's very cool. It's a fun process. I encourage everyone to write a song. And but what's neat about this concept with the remix is that I took that song and then thought, I'm going to try to do a dance mix. So instead of that, one more time, check it out.
There's a place that we can get together for a long, long time, and it's not far from here.
2, the chorus. Notice here I can just play the chorus section. Here it is. Oh, we got to change tempo, sorry. 127 is a typical dance tempo, so let's do that.
There's a place that we can get together for a long, long time, and it's not far from here. Told you when I met you, I would never let you break my heart, and you begin to
Pretty big difference, right? Especially in the intensity of the song. That first version that I did in 2003 is kind of like laid back, sort of a ballad, and then this one's hard hitting. So what are you listening to when you listen to music? It's an interesting concept if you haven't really given it much thought. Sort of like when you're drinking your beer. What are you paying attention to? Is it the temperature of it? Is it the frothiness of it, the feel in your mouth? Is it the acidity? Is it the bitter taste? Is it the bubbles? All of that, adds to the experience. So music, I find, is the same way. When I'm listening to music, I'm really kind of floating around like a drone above the band and kind of thinking, let me hone in on this. What rhythm is the drum playing? What instrument of the drum kit is he playing? So let's listen to Darrell, and here's just the vocal.
There's a place that we can get together for a long, long time, and it's not far from here.
Yeah. And so are you listening to the sound of her voice? Are you listening to the melody notes she's singing? Or are you only listening to the lyrics? And I find a lot of times, a lot of people only listen to the lyrics, and then there's kind of this general groove behind it. And I think that's normal. Why? Because she's singing in the English language. And, if you speak English, that's your main communication device. So you understand what she's talking about. And then you listen to these lyrics and go, oh, what a cool story. I like that. And then you might notice the groove behind it. But me being an instrumental musician, I have kind of a different perspective. So I actually wrote these lyrics, took the challenge on, and I've never really been a vocalist, so I hire great singers. So Darrell recorded this 15 years ago. And that's only one element of this song, though. So let's listen to the rest. Again, here's Darrell.
There's a place that we can get together for a long, long time, and it's not.
So let's do this. Let's just mute Darrell, and then we'll play the rest of the band. That's fun to me. What are you listening to? What do you like about it? What do you don't like about it? It's kind of neat to get inside it. So you're eating chocolate cake and you're going, man, this isn't that good. Why not? What does that mean? And it might mean it's a little bit dry. It's a little bit flavorless. The frosting is too sweet. Who knows? But it's neat to make kind of put your awareness on it and really pay attention to details. I'm all about paying attention to details. So right here, I like you to listen to this synth bass. It's not a real bass, it's a synth bass. So let's listen to that. Unique sound, right? So that adds to the vibe of this song. So when you love AC/DC, you love Kelly Clarkson, what is it about that song that really does it for you? Is it only the lyrics? Or if you go deeper, go past the vocalist and go, wow, I just love the way that guitar sounds. U2 is great that way. That delay they have on the guitar, that adds a vibe to it. Van Halen. You can tell a Van Halen song right away because of the way the guitars sound. So I challenge you to kind of go deeper, and all it requires is you to be mindful, be in the present moment, but also let yourself just float into it, numerous listenings, and start checking out the other things that are going on. So let's check out what's going on here. This is the chorus of Not Far From Here.
Get together for
That swell, that reverse cymbal happens at the end of a lot of these 8-bar sections, and it adds to the excitement, and then the release. Tension, release. Tension, release. How is a song kind of ebbing and flowing like a great meal, like a great drink, right? You guys should check out this really cool, if you're into wine, a documentary called Somm, and it's the documentary process of people trying to become a sommelier, and it's a very intense process, and it's basically you have to be a history expert and a culinary expert, and you have to be able to memorize all of these terms, all of these dates, and really know by just tasting from one sip of going, I know the region of the world that this wine was made. I know the acidity. I know the way it was made. It's the grapes that were used. It's really an intense thing, and I really enjoyed watching it because it's very similar to how I listen to music. Feel free to let me chime in here and see if you guys have some questions. Krista, you made it. Great, awesome. Julie, thanks for being here as always. And I'm going to show you this. How about a different little section of this tune? Verse 1. Listen how this builds up into the chorus. There's a reason you enjoy a song if you haven't realized it, and it's kind of neat to start paying attention to that and noticing it as you're listening to the radio. Is it starts here, kind of intensifies, meaning maybe more instruments get added, more rhythmic elements, meaning instead of just boom, 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 it starts going more like boom, 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 gets more exciting, more stuff in the same amount of time. And that makes you feel a certain way. And that's the end goal of art, right? That's why you love movies. It's why you love music. It's why you love a painting, is it makes you feel something. So it's neat to notice those and why is it happening? And then you can start to experience things in a more rich and sophisticated and satisfying way. So here's the verse.
Do you know?
Notice the kick drum.
There's a place for us, and it's not too far from here.
Not too much going on. Now it's going to intensify a little bit.
Industry and laughter, that's what we're really after. Someone
Hear that percussion? Here's the pre-chorus. Up. Let's do the pre-chorus. Notice the kick drum. The vocals doubled.
There's a place
And then the chorus, that's the release, that's the hook. That's where you're trying to get. So everything up to that point is leading up to it. That's the purpose of it. And notice this intro is actually the chorus, but it's done in a more mellow way just to sort of introduce it. Here's the very beginning of the song.
There's a place that we can get together for a long, long time, and it's not far from here.
Okay. So let me show you. Let's listen. Don't look at the Ableton set, just listen to it now. So here's the beginning of that intro again, and notice the synth. Listen to these pulsing synths. That gives it this dance vibe. The original song didn't have that.
There's a place that we can long, long time.
And then the same lyrics, same chord progression is happening on the chorus.
There's a place that we can get together for a long, long time, and it's not far from here.
This really builds. Horns.
I would never let you break my heart, and you
The peak.
There's a place that we can.
So that's fun. You can sculpt this. It's like Steven Spielberg, right? He's creating this ebb and flow through this movie, 2-hour movie, and making you feel something. He's actually manipulating you, and you don't realize it. You're just enjoying this story. You get involved with the characters. Who are the characters in a song? They're all the instruments that are playing. So what's cool about Ableton Live is that I can create those myself. So I actually made the bass line. I program the drums. I program the synths. And then I write the horn parts using a keyboard patch, and then I have real horn players record it. In this case, it was myself, my sister Darren Kramer on trumpet. We've played together all over the world for years, toured with Matchbox 20, and done some cruise ships together and playing a lot of salsa bands and big bands. So when I know Don's on it, I know it'll be played right. And then we also had Jake Boldman, great lead trumpet player, who unfortunately just moved from Denver back to Dallas. And the three of us just recorded these parts, and the live element of that really adds a vibe to a dance track. And I don't hear a lot of live horns on dance. What the last time that really happened was disco in the 70s. And all those tunes, if you notice, listen past the vocal, on the Bee Gees, on Gloria Gaynor, any of those things, you'll hear and notice the horns. And you'll notice there's always percussion. There's always these extra little elements, and it adds to your experience, I think. Hey, let's taste our beverage again. We don't want to get too caught up. The slogan is listen, taste, relax. So let's do that. If you guys like this, please share it with your friends. I'm here every Saturday, 5 p.m. Denver time, and I'm going to be using a different example to kind of highlight these different elements of music as a recipe. And I've been happy to take requests. One thing I've run into is you can't use a lot of popular cover tunes on Facebook Live because they'll shut it down because they know that I'm using someone else's music and I didn't get their permission. So I'm using mine right now until I find a workaround with that, because I do some really cool things with a live setting here in Denver as a clinic, as a workshop. for Sonic Tonic. I've done them on Steely Dan, Stevie Wonder, big band, how to listen to big band music. There's 20 musicians on stage. You can really float around the stage and listen to very cool things that are happening within a big band. And I talked about that last week using the Bob Mincer Big Band app. And also that I have that available on DKO Lessons, and you can play along with this app, and I show you how to do it, called Virtual Jazz Camp on dkolessons.com. So check all the notes in the details of this Facebook Live, and tell your friends about it, and I'll hopefully see you here next week, 5 o'clock. And if you want to see a lot of performing with this unique setup that I have, the electric trombone DJ, I'm doing a Funky Friday, every Friday at 5 o'clock, where I'm playing original electro-funk with little elements of world music and Latin and jazz, and it's a lot of fun. So we just did another one yesterday. So Fridays at 5, Saturday Sonic Tonics at 5. And hope you enjoy it. Please, I welcome your comments, your suggestions, your requests, and let's all listen to more music and listen more intently for more satisfaction and more enjoyment. So I'm going to play a little bit of this going out, and I hope you guys have a great weekend, and we'll see you here next week. Thanks so much.